Right, so by the time you get to watch this, this is going to be pretty much old news. That we are attempting to clear the damage that we've been left with from, there goes Ben, behind me, from Storm Éowyn. I think that's how you say it, I'm not 100% sure. So we're out here today, and also excuse the noise of the generator because we're still without electricity, so we're relying on the generator. I don't know what the date is, it's the 30th today. The storm was a week ago tomorrow, and we're scheduled to be reconnected on the 4th of February, so hopefully by the time you see this we will be back connected to the grid. But for the time being we have no internet, no mains electric, and a very sparse mobile signal that we've had for the last day or so. So it's been a little bit trying, but I'm going to turn you around and show. We've probably got it on another video, but if anyone remembers, we had a massive conifer on the land at the top part, not far from the outbuildings, and we lost that sadly, which is a shame. So we're now attempting to try and get rid of that, but I'll flick you around so you can have a look where that is laying. Right, so that is where it once stood, where this big gap is, and that's the conker tree that the conifer towered over. This is where the conifer is sitting right now. Ben stood in front to give you a bit of an idea of the size, but large. Yeah, I'll chuck my glove off and point to there. It's going to focus on my finger instead. I'll take my finger away, but that is the tip of the conifer tree, so it is a huge tree. So the plan is all these little tiny little branches, we're going to try and cut most of those first so we can actually get in to see, because we're right in the ditch as well, which makes it super messy. And I don't know if you can see, but these are the big branches, and then we've got
6, 7, 8 main branches,
the huge ones, yeah. So the plan is try and get some of the foliage out of the way first, so we can then, or so we, because I won't be using the chainsaw, so Ben can get in with the chainsaw and try and get this out of the way really. But it's going to be massive. Once the foliage does go, it's going to be huge. But I thought, go on.
It's a shame as well because it's that one.
It's lovely. It's a lovely tree. I'm really gutted. It's not even our tree,
no.
But I'm still gutted because it's a beautiful tree, beautiful large tree, and really out of any of the trees that we got on the land, that wasn't the one that I thought would go. The rest, we got lots of dead ash, so we expected that might go, but they haven't. But I will wander you down and show you the extra. That one there is only being held up, get to the top, by a slight branch of the willow tree. So we got this, which is dead, covered in ivy there, and that one's dead, so that's only kind of balancing. So that is probably going to come down too.
Yeah, that one's going to go anyway. That one.
Yeah, that was on our list.
Yeah, with those two.
Yeah, for those two, they're dead too. I'm surprised they're still standing, but
how they're still standing.
It's lost the tip, a couple of pieces of the tip of that one on the right. But I'll take you down and we can have a quick look while Ben starts up the chainsaw. Yeah. Right. We've got another snapped one there, which comes all the way down to the ground. And it is sad when you lose these trees, especially ones that have been there for such a long time. These were all leaning from last year anyway. They're getting lower, so we're looking at maybe having to thin this out a touch, because each wind that comes they're getting lower and lower till they drop into the ground. I've got a robin following me. He's been up the top. There he is. He's just dropped down on the floor. I don't know if you can see him. Anyway, so the plum tree. So anybody who liked Blossom Watch last year is going to be out of luck this year, because we've lost most of what was left of the plum. So that's, it's a little bit frosty this morning. It's not really that bad, apart from the conifer. This, when I get over there, I'll turn this off to get over. Oh, the apple tree. Apple tree's not looking so well. I think with the wind it took up in the air off the prop, so that split that some more. So we're probably going to lose that one branch. And then along here, we've lost quite a lot along there. Most of what was there is now been turned into what looks like a bush growing out of the ground. I think there's quite a few. I'll come back over here. And up in there you can see where everything has snapped, fallen over, everything's leaning. So we have plenty to do. It obviously wasn't what we were planning on doing on our couple of weeks off, but it is what it is. Life does seem to go like that, but it gives us some firewood anyway, because we've gone through our stored firewood so far. So we could do for some for next year. No, not next year, this year. But anyway, I'm going to turn you off because I'm going to go up into where the chainsaw is going on.
So after plodding through, it's looking a little bit different. Certainly a lot more light in this area now. Chainsaw, I think it's user trouble more than chainsaw trouble. Where I've sharpened the blade in the past, it's cutting further round to the, or further to the left than it is the right, but I think that's actually down to me that's caused that. We've got some huge piles of foliage now. We've got the one down here and one at the back, which is getting ever bigger. Joined by Steve as normal, but you can see now how this conifer was made up, with two big main trunks which then split into, this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the smaller one over the back I think it's got 3 on it. So I've still got that to try and get through. I've got some new chainsaw blades coming. Now this one with all the ivy on it, Dawn pointed out the other day about, where are we, that one, which was leaning up there. So yesterday I took the chainsaw to it and eventually got through it. Like I say, I think it's more user trouble with the chainsaw than it is the chainsaw, but I did get through it, and now it's a case of chopping all of this up. As for all of the foliage, we've got a plan for that, and that will be coming up in a little bit. And while we've been out here for the last couple of days, Dawn has dragged out with the rake the ditch again, right from the very top and the front of the house right down to the very bottom of the land, getting all of the autumn leaves out and everything, so that's flowing nicely again. We've had plenty of rain in the last few days as well, mainly overnight, but that's what led us on to yesterday. If I just walk up here, because the weather wasn't great, take these off. Right, because the weather wasn't great and raining, our temporary channel was re-dragged out again to take the water from the road down, because this area was just getting re-boggy, and we've just added a little bit more gravel like we did with where the car sits. We put some more gravel down as well, so that's much nicer. And then what used to be called the sink area, that's been re-dragged out, and that just goes straight down to the ditch. So that's what we were up to yesterday, and then I thought I'd come out today and see what the chainsaw blade's like, and see if I can get through some more of that conifer. So the one thing that surprises me is how hard chainsawing is. I think I'm using muscles I've not used before. We watched videos before I started on that route by the outbuilding. This is very different. We watched some videos and it's about, if you were to cut the tree there and the weight's going to fall, you cut it at the top. If as you're cutting it's going to start pinching the bar of the chainsaw, you then need to go from the bottom, because it opens up the gap for when you chainsaw through. So if you wondered why I was chainsawing from the top initially and then the bottom, as I was chainsawing from the top, I hate saying chainsawing all the time, but it's not sawing, is it? Although it is. So I'd start cutting from the top, and then as I felt or if I felt it's starting to pinch the bar, I'd then change to underneath. But it's a lot harder pulling up than it is obviously going with gravity. So I'm a little bit buggered, to be honest. A long way to go, a lot of chopping. That's the chainsaw came with two chains, and initially when I started on that route, it blunt very quickly, and I sharpened it and I used it again, and it blunt again because of the stone bits in that route. So I'm just watching a robin. They've been about constantly. So anyway, that I must have sharpened, put it to one side and put the new chain on because it came with two, and that's the one I've been using since the route, and I've really been struggling. So I put the original chain back on, and it's made my life much easier. So we've got a robin darting about there, and we've got Alan coming in that way, and I know, oh, it's Steve, and I know that the robin will outsmart the cat.
Right, so if you've been watching us for a little while, you would have heard us last year say about making a dead hedge in this area here, which is where this huge conker tree is, and there's a big gap like that. Well, today we are finally going to start doing that. We've got obviously all the stuff that Ben's been cutting off the tree, but we've got a big pile of bits and pieces here. I'll turn you around and I'll show you what we got. So here we have mainly willow, really, from when we were chopping down the bottom end of the land last year. So we've got lots and lots of willow. Left it quite long because we weren't sure whether we'd use some of the branches as the stakes, and we were just going to do branches. And then we've watched a few videos, and we saw a video of a small holding on a shoestring, and he made one and he put all these conifer bits and pieces in, because we were a bit like, oh, what am I going to do with all of this? And then we remembered we'd seen him doing his, and he'd used all of this as well. Now we haven't got that quantity to be able to put in over there, but it's not the only place we need to do one, so I'm sure we'll get rid of a lot of it. So at the moment Ben's just putting a string up so we got something to go to, and we thought we'd go for a bit of a boxy type one so we can get more in it. But you will get to see how we get on as time goes on. It is very chilly today. Doesn't look it, but further on down the land, I've just had a wander down there and it's quite crunchy underfoot where it's so chilly. But anyway, I'm going to put this down, put my glove back on and get on with it. Not getting through.
There's a stone there, so it'll have to go there.
We're not getting down very far with the stakes, are we? I don't know.
And what I can do, can
How
always
tall is that? Is it very tall?
5 foot, a little bit over.
Bit under, yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhat the woman that I was watching, she did them chest height,
Oh, what?
but I don't know how tall she was.
No,
She was 6 foot. Going up there. Someone's holding it.
Don't say that. I might have to cut that knob off.
Yeah, I will. It
No.
was just as a
Yeah.
have a look.
That one
Because
there.
it might, I don't know, do you think it's still going to be too...
Not on that one.
I've got to cut the curl off that other one actually.
Yeah. I'll use a chainsaw on that. Because other than, well, once we decide
On a height.
on a height, we can chainsaw it off.
Got these little...
Yeah.
Ah, too short now.
No, I won't cut it on, because you think that's probably 5 foot already.
Yeah, true.
No, not quite.
Let's see what's going on.
We'll just use the bar there.
What do you
The
think?
thought, you see, is to leave this out
Yeah.
if it doesn't push too much. But I
right.
can't get a very big.
Fear for my knuckles.
I feel for my face.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Hello.
because my thought is we can have put. Yeah, also it wouldn't fit in there.
If we go on crusts,
Yeah.
you go through those holes, you know, how they
Oh, it's speed.
yeah. easy through them.
Yeah. Oh, that smells nice. I don't know what it smells like.
Bacon.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Why does it smell like
I
bacon?
don't know, but it does.
Should it smell like bacon?
Probably not.
So after some discussion and hole poking with a big metal bar, we end up with our current art installation. We haven't got a name for it yet, but our posts are in, and then down the bottom at the moment the bank from the road slopes off, and that's been eroding over time. So what we thought we'd do is put some chunky logs down the lower part of the bank to then hopefully hold the bank back and stop a bit of erosion. But that's where we're up to at the moment. So the bits and pieces, or some of the bits and pieces we gathered from last February and March, we're just taking advantage of the fact that they were already breaking down, and that's what's going to go at the bottom of the dead hedge to start with, before we then start putting foliage in. And then some of the willow as well. That was all from the very bottom of the land. We dragged it up here on purpose last year, and that's where it stayed. We've moved it 3 times, 4 times have we moved it?
Yeah,
I think so.
easily.
Yeah, so we're hoping we can actually take advantage of that this year in the dead hedge as planned. And then we'll also be using the foliage and branches from the conifer. So time was getting on yesterday, and it was getting colder as the sun started to move right round and started to drop, so we called it a day and we went in. There's Dawny. Right, so this is where we got up to yesterday. You saw this side when we were finishing off. Did you see this side? Yeah, this was the side you saw yesterday when we were finishing off. This morning we very quickly replaced this one tall post. That's a new post because the other one was too short. I'm just going to take you around the other side. It's actually most inconvenient. Dawn was just saying, now that we've filled the great big hole, that at the moment we're just climbing through this bit of missing hedge.
We have to walk further now.
Yeah, we've got to walk further, and at a later date this will have hedgerow replanted, so we'll have to walk even further. But anyway, this is from the lane side. Really pleased with it. And once we've filled to the level we're going to, and the posts are all cut to the same height, it should look really nice. But it's much nicer than the great big gaping gap we had before. So we're going to carry on with that. Hopefully a couple of hours it will be done, and we can actually get in the warm, because it is bitter. It's so much colder than it was yesterday, and there's very little sun today as well, so we're not even feeling the benefit of the sun, even though my glasses have gone really dark.
It's supposed to come out sunny.
It's supposed to be sunny, is it? Yeah.
I think so. A bit of sun and cloud.
It's there, but
yeah, starting over there.
yeah. And I did take my glasses off for you to try. I just couldn't see the camera, so I had to put them back on. Anyway, we'll carry on.
Right, you're looking at a very bare patch there. On the first time in about a year, I think, we've managed to clear it all. We've kept a few bits back for something else that we might make out of some of the longer branches. We've got robins all over the place, but that is pretty much done. Ben's got the last few bits to do. I can't reach now. I can reach from the roadside because it's that little bit higher, but I can't reach this bit. So really, that puts an end to our first week back in 2 weeks. It feels like it's been a whole lot longer than that. I don't know if it's because we had a week or so without electricity and the internet, but it's actually really nice to be back. We're quite excited.
Yeah.
for a new video to come out, yeah. So whilst Ben finishes doing that, We're pretty much done actually, just bits and pieces.
We didn't get rid of as much conifer as
No, we didn't. I don't know
as
if
we
you can see it
hoped.
behind me. Yeah, still a little.
Well, we got rid of.
We dropped a bit of one of the piles,
Yeah.
but not quite as much. But there's other places.
Oh, there is that bottom corner.
Yeah, we got maybe a little patch down there that we've got in mind for another one.
Yeah. But
And
we think it looks.
we're really pleased with
Yeah,
it.
we are.
It looks really good, and it's actually been fun making it, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it has.
It was a little bit head scratchy to begin with because there's stones beneath this and there's bits of metal, so trying to get the poles in was a little bit challenging, shall we say. But once we got going and got a system,
Yeah, yesterday. Once we
being
got
put
going,
in layers and that, and yeah, we're really pleased with it.
looks good.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? We got
What are you thinking?
2 new channel members, and I really can't remember your name. I'm going to take these off. I can't see you. I'm sorry I can't remember your names, but thank you so much for becoming channel members. And we had one lady buy lots of coffees.
Yes.
What was her name?
Kathleen.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
thank
Kathleen.
you, Kathleen. Yeah.
And yeah, so there's our thank yous. Don't forget to like,
Yes.
and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because the way YouTube's changed its now home screen, if you were watching us and other renovation channels and homesteading channels, and then you go off and watch something completely different, we just disappear off your screen.
And we probably won't have helped it this last couple of weeks actually, because we've
not
had a
been
couple
here.
of weeks off, so yeah.
So
But yeah, that'd be great if you could.
yeah, subscribe and hit the like button, because that's
Sounds like real YouTubers.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Hit the like button and ring the bell.
Yeah.
So that's
That's us.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's us. Our first video back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Really pleased to be back.
We're going to try and get out here sorted quickly. Because we don't want this to drag on and on like it did last year.
No, it's not going to be a challenge or anything like that.
So we might not film all of it. We might just get it done and then give you an update as we go. We got so many robins at the moment, all fighting.
They're all over the place. That's where my eyes keep wandering to. There's one not far away at the moment.
3, but they're fighting for their areas at the moment.
They're really happy actually, because where we've moved everything, they're now
in the leaves,
finding all the little bugs that are under the leaves and under these branches.
Yeah, there's 4 now. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
We'll go.
Yeah, we will.
Thanks
ever
so much for coming back.
Yeah.
As Dawn said, we're pleased to be back.
Yeah, we are.
And we will see you next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yeah. Bye-bye.